Jaime Munguia versus John Ryder. John Ryder that we watched in our last live stream thought that he got well and truly robbed against Callum Smith. Josh, do you want to give us some thoughts on this quickly before you bow out? Munguia versus Ryder. Let us know who you think is going to win, how this plays out.
Not necessarily a fight that I was clamoring for, as I imagine anyone on here. But that being said, I'll take it in terms of just to see what Munguia does with John Ryder, who just recently was in with Canelo. And I think that it's going to be an interesting matchup, especially with the backdrop that Munguia was potentially going to face Canelo, though I've heard that there's some other chatter out there of it being a different opponent that could crop up. But that being said, I like Jaime Munguia. I think that he's grown under Eric Morales and that crew that he's with over there. And I think that we've seen him become a better boxer overall with that sort of move and change that came about some years back. And John Ryder, we know he's a wily veteran who's going to be around, and it's going to be a tough challenge. And he'll probably mix it up a bit with Munguia. Munguia is coming off of Fight of the Year for me for 2023 when he took on Sergey Derevianchenko. So at 42-0 now, that's pretty crazy to think about when he came in as such a young fighter, but he was already on a pretty high trajectory in terms of fight totals. But he's been someone who's been around, and we've continually wanted to see him in with that next level of opponent. I think that's probably the one thing that we've clamored for. And should he pull off the victory here, it seems that is what would be in line. If it's not Canelo, then with him being at 168, maybe it's someone like a David Morrell or someone like a David Benavidez. Just throwing them out there, though, the likelihood of it happening, it's a toss-up. But we also have Christian Mbili, who recently fought, who could be someone that will make for a good action fight with Jaime Munguia. So I expect Munguia to win. He'll have the youth on him. Both of them have a number of fights. You can make an argument on who has the wear and tear, but I guess you could say Ryder probably more so from an overall standpoint, even though he has less fights. But that being said, it should be an interesting one. I do favor Munguia to pick up probably a decision victory in this contest.
All right. Great stuff. I know that you'll need to drop out whenever you need to, Josh, so just feel free to get off when you need to. Me and Alex will finish off for the last few minutes here. Alex, your thoughts on this one, please? A prediction as well?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of a little bit what Josh was saying. Wasn't exactly expected this matchup. I know Ryder, coming off the Canelo fight, he wanted a big fight. He was talking a lot about fighting Triple G, was even willing to go over to Kazakhstan to fight him. I know Edgar Berlanga was a name. I was seeing maybe if you can get a David Benavidez fight. But Munguia, I think this is a really good scrap. I think it's going to be entertaining. I think they both have good styles that are going to clash well. We're going to get a 12-round war possibly. And I think that's what most boxing fans or people just like to see fighting. That's what they would tune in to see. We watched John Ryder. We saw his first probably big fight last stream, and we saw what he can do. Against Canelo. Pound for pound fighter. You saw that. Hey, he was outgunned. However, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop trying to fight. And he's not a guy you're just gonna roll over and just slap around. Jaime Munguia, 42-0. You're like, holy shit, this guy here, he must be something. Well, he's world titleist at 154, beat Saddam Ali. Since then, it's been kind of underwhelming. I think his best victories have been like a Gabriel Rosado. So his last fight during Chenko, that fight was a nail biter for him. He was getting slapped around a little bit, if you ask me. Was able to go ahead and solidify that victory with a knockdown in the last round. He actually changed trainers. He's training in LA. He's with Freddie Roach currently. So we're going to see exactly if Freddie can do with him. Freddie's known as a great offensive coach. I don't think he has a terrible offense. I think it's more about his defense. But hey, sometimes they say a great offense is a good defense. So I expect this to be a fight. that is maybe fight of the year candidate early on.
Okay.
Pulling out a victor, man. Holy shit. John Ryder's getting up there in age. We saw that with Beterbiev. That didn't fucking matter. Munguia, what? Fourth weight class. He fought at 147. I know that because he knocked out Macias, though, the gentleman that gave Jamal Charlo 12 rounds of showing durability against him. Munguia flattened him out on one at 147. So fourth weight class this is probably his toughest opponent yet. Highest weight class guy, southpaw. I'm gonna go with fucking John Ryder, man. I just like his style better. If Munguia wins, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I don't give a shit. I think it truly is a great battle. I anticipate to be in the ring, and may the best man win.
That's quite a bold statement, but I kind of agree. I think Ryder is hugely underrated. We saw like in our last stream how good he was against Callum Smith. We both thought that he deserved that decision, as did a lot of boxing fans. They thought it was a robbery. It probably was. He's kind of had a bit of a resurgence, Ryder, in the last several years, and he's just a thick, comes at you fighter. He's solid. He's got power. He's the gorilla. He mauls you. So yeah, it'll be a good test, I think, for Jaime Munguia. We've obviously been clamoring for him to step up and face some of those top guys, and not just pad that record out, as Rodolfo had alluded to there. So yeah, I actually think I think Munguia will actually get the win. I think it might just be a step too much for John Ryder. He might get a bit overwhelmed with Munguia's style, and I think he'll probably win on points, but I wouldn't be surprised if we forced a kind of a late stoppage, maybe under a barrage of shots and the rest steps in, something like that. But I'd edge towards Munguia. I'd be quite interested to see what the odds are, to be fair.
I think Munguia is like a 3.5 to 1 favorite.
Yeah. So a fair favorite, but not like a huge favorite, I'd say. So I think that's pretty fair. I can see some comments here. The Axiom, thanks for stopping by and commenting. He sees a Munguia stoppage win and late as well. So yeah, around 9 to 11 or so.
Shout out Axiom, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate it. Beagle also goes with Munguia as well. Late KO. So yeah, interesting. Just before we do call that a day for this week, is there any other names that spring out here that are of interest to you boys?
Yes,
definitely. Go ahead. You first.
Oh, I know it's going to be the same interest for Alex there, Oscar Collazo. What I say is this is a hidden treat in the sport of boxing. Puerto Rico, he's a champion. Of course, he's in the minimum weight division, so they don't get a lot of buzz. That being said, he's must-see TV stylistically, just the way he works in the ring. He can overcome adversity as well. I'm telling you, this guy's the real deal. And I think if he continues on this trajectory he's on, and he is fast-tracking it, he can be one of the best that we've seen in the last few decades as far as Puerto Rican fighters. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, cool. Alex, you give us a bit more info and thoughts.
No, definitely. I'm excited. This guy here, he wants to put on a show, and that's what he's been doing. He's been getting stoppages, getting knockdowns. If it's going to decision, only 8 fights. Yeah. The guy is here to make a splash, and just because he's little doesn't mean he can't fight. If you want to see, some nice skills, definitely check him out. There's the card's not a bad card at all. You got Sebastian Fondora's sister, Gabriel Fondora from West Palm Beach, Florida. Shout out South Florida, baby.
Cool.
Fights out of Coachella, however. But anyways, she's a girl, 12-0, 5 stoppages, got a knockout her last time. To win the title, if I'm not mistaken. Or anyways, so she's fighting a girl only 6-0. Could we see another stoppage? They're rare in women's boxing. If she's able to put back-to-back stoppages on television, you may have a future star in women's boxing on your hands. It's fun style, very similar to her brother.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely want to check that out. And really interesting in the card is Darius Fulgham. He's also on there. Only I think he's 9-0 if I'm not mistaken. All stoppages, fighting Alantis Fox. A guy that's been in there with Demetrius Andrade, David Morrell. Big step up for Darius. I think he just graduated from nursing school.
Okay.
I obviously he wants the training wheels taken off. And if he's able to keep his knockouts going, it'd be very impressive. Even though this guy has been stopped. I mean, look who stopped him. I think Beck the Bully's probably, the guy that's not really seen as a true title contender, but everyone knows Beck the Bully. They call him the Bully for a reason. He's in there to beat you up. So yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see after this. What do they do with Darius if he's able to get an A on this test?
Yeah. I'll ditto that. Certainly, Fulgham has looked good thus far. And Lantez Fox, if he can go in there and stop him, then, hey, got to give him props. It's only up and up from here for sure.